I can't think of an oud more beloved than Oud Yusuf. It's easily the most praised, talked about, enjoyed, and oft recommended oud I know of. Even folks who have an extensive collection of high-caliber oils consider Oud Yusuf in their top tier. So you can imagine what a royal edition of Oud Yusuf would do to you, and what an indispensable oud it would be in your collection. Throughout the past year, we've been sharing things we would probably never have shared otherwise. We're connecting in new ways, feel more connected in these new ways, during a time of heightened isolation. So I guess that's what I'm doing here, almost involuntarily. I'm inviting you into my atelier and giving you a whiff of the oddities I keep there. Feast your nose on this. Imagine Oud Yusuf, but its apricot sweetness drenched in the jungly incense smoke of Maroke. An oud that picks fresh lilacs, diffuses them through a ginkgo incense coil, and dips them in a honeydew cocktail, laced with the encens of vintage Papuan oud smoke. What made Oud Yusuf so universally appealing is its beautiful fusion of florals and fruits. Yusuf Royale cast those qualities on full display, but filtered through this vintage prism of Sultan Qaboos-original Oud Royale. When we sold out of the original Oud Royale, there was some resin left at the bottom of the flask we received it in from Sultan Qaboos. If you've stored oud for decades, you'd know how some of the powder precipitates to the bottom. We didn't know what to do with the remainder in the flask until years later, when the idea to pour Oud Yusuf into the same flask came to me, and we ended up infusing Oud Yusuf with Sultan Qaboos' 1982 distillation. That infusion was called Yusuf Royale, and we only had a few bottles. That's why, likely, you haven't heard of it before. Now that we've decanted the predecessor to Oud Royale in order to make the perfume edition, we face the same dilemma, and we solved it the same way. We poured some Oud Yusuf into the flask for it to absorb the scent of the Sultan's oud stowed away for over 40 years, and turned what is already a spectacular oud into one truly royal. In addition to the oud that has already been absorbed from the flask, we'll also add a symbolic amount of the actual Oud Royale in your bottle for an added touch of Indo-Chinese oomph. I know it's a big claim, but with this mouth-watering, semi-bitter tinge, Oud Yusuf fans will like this jacked-up edition as much, or more, than the original. Imagine the lilac beauty of Oud Yusuf, swimming in a pool of violets, purple and narcotic, kenomic. So, lilacs? Yes. Honeydew, apricot, peach, and all the floral fruity goodness that makes Oud Yusuf? Yes. All of that, with the grandness of Oud Royale. The chance to experience smells like this come around once in a lifetime. Many of those who have smelled Oud Yusuf have also smelled many, many Thai ouds to compare it to, and nothing compares. Yusuf Royale by Ensar Oud.